Yeah, of course. So there are probably three things about imposter syndrome which I think are really useful for people to take away. And the first thing is that it's different to self-doubt, because self-doubt is about what you can do and the skills that you can have. But with imposter syndrome, it's actually at an identity level. So it goes quite a lot deeper. It's about who you think you are. And the really important thing is that it's where you have the skills, but you tell yourself the story that you can't do it. So you have this kind of thought pattern, which is, I'm a fraud, I'll get found out, I'm not meant to be here. So that's the first thing. It is different when you pull it apart from that self-doubt piece. The second feature of imposter syndrome is it's where you discount your achievements. So you attribute them to luck or just coincidence, and that's rather than actually your abilities or your intelligence. And I don't know about you, you mentioned that it's something that you suffered from. I would do it in terms of, I'd look up to a role that someone had in the organization. I think, God, they're very senior, they're very accomplished having that role. I would then be given the role that's, a couple of years later, and I'd think, oh, they probably just gave it to me because they couldn't find anyone else. Yeah. And I think that's a real attribute of it. What was your...
More so with accreditation, university, getting the ability for me to even start my own business, and starting it. This is the first business I've ever started under my own name, under my media company. And I really was like, why would you do that? Who do you think you are to name a company under your own name? People are going to think that you're up yourself and all of that. And what have you got to bring? It really played with me for a long time before I just went, you know what, I'm doing this. I can do it. I've got the contacts, I've got the networks, I've got the education, I've got the experience. Just trust the process. And it was it screwed with my head a lot, even for the name.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that is the nail on the head in terms of the third point, which is it's context dependent. So people may not have experienced it, but it will come up when they change role or they step out of their comfort zone. And that's when all of a sudden you think, oh my goodness, they're going to find me out, but I'm not meant to be here. So you may not experience it kind of in a situation where you lead a team, but if you are then asked to be on a board and you look around and think, oh my goodness, who am I to be here? And the outcome of it can be really damaging. So like you said, it can kind of freeze you up, and that's kind of your stress response. So you can have that anxiety,